Don't jinx it now.
I'm not trying to. I'm pointing out a fact.
Don't go jinxing it,
What
Shiny.
happens? Don't go jinxing waterfalls. Just stick to the lava and the poison you're used to.
Don't go jinxing waterfalls, okay. Alright, we sound fine.
Oh, we do.
Hello, people, it's us two bros game 9, I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I'm your other host, Older Bro.
And after many stream issues, we are back and we are going to do the whole stream today.
Younger Bro is playing through.
That's what we're doing.
I promise I only had to threaten him 6 times.
He didn't threaten me at all. I did it on my own.
Yeah,
but
I don't have to threaten Younger Bro to make bad decisions. He just makes them on his own.
But, anyways, so we're back trying to get our shiny Frostmoth.
Yeah.
So, guys, the internet was so bad that the last 2 days I even struggled playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
I don't struggle in any games with, like,
shit.
internet issues.
Wow.
So, the fact that my game was having problems was kind of getting to me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask this question innocuously. You want English, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Japanese dub is also
Yes.
at the theater, yeah.
Yep. See, I was asking innocuously. You're asking it not innocuously. I'm hiding information!
Look, it's not a surprise.
That's irrelevant to the point.
Oh, man.
Okay. So, yeah, you have 2 options then. We either have to go at 1:45 or 7:30.
I guess we go at 1:45.
Yeah, that's like it's there's 2 times. So.
That sucks.
Or does it blow?
But you freaking count the number, thank you.
I'm sorry, I can't count upward. Counting is difficult, would you believe?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, it is very, very difficult to go from 1 to 100.
Yes, I mean, you say that, but yes.
Okay, Shiny boy, you're in kindergarten now, so I expect you to know numbers.
You're
Start
in
from
shiny
1.
kindergarten. How many encounter rates did you have to go through? What's a rate? Count the number of non-shinies. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 5,
Okay, now you're just
4,
brown-nosing.
6,
What does that mean?
8, 4.
Okay, my nephew cannot be this stupid.
Wait, who are you?
Wait, you're not my nephew? No? Oh. Do you know my nephew? No? Okay, I'm at the wrong school.
How would I know if I know your nephew?
You seem to not know anything, so you know what? I don't even know why I asked you that. See, this is why we should skip kindergarten and go straight to 1st grade.
No. Kindergarten's a required grade. Preschool isn't a required grade.
Oh, man.
It is suggested, though.
Yeah, the sooner you start in school, the better, as they say, or whatever.
From my understanding, some states require pre-K.
Really?
Yeah, so preschool is required in some states.
Oh, that sucks. That's a lot of schooling for a lot of years.
Yeah, but let's be honest, nobody remembers that, before kindergarten days. So
I barely remember before my kindergarten days.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't remember it.
Most of what I did was watch TV.
Mr. B, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hello.
Hey, Mr. B, I watched TV and visited family. That's about all I can remember.
Mr. B, you need to get a girlfriend. Like, I know that you said that you're not really looking for that, but I think that this comment cements that you need something.
Tonight
And it is not a Snom.
Party crowd. We only have one Shiny Snom currently. And we're going for 2.
Also, what have you been looking at that has, like, ridges?
Like, if he wants to get into mountain climbing.
Like, look at this. What inside of a person looks like that?
I think he means its face.
No, refuse. I absolutely refuse this bullshit.
Hey, Hank, how's your hand? How's your face?
Wait, who's saying that?
Hank Pym.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking it was something from what's the actual name of the show with Hank and Bobby?
Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
Oh, King of the Hill.
Yeah, King of the Hill. Thank you.
No.
I could not think. I was like, yeah. I
No,
thought it was King of the
it
Hill,
was
but-
from Marvel.
Okay. That was just me being ridiculous. Don't get penisy, kid.
He's not a kid.
Shush. I haven't been around in a while, so I wanted to provide shock value. Well, you've done a very good job, Mr. B. We appreciate it.
And now he's going around calling himself the Shocker. Now you're the Shocker.
I'm not sure if the Shocker or Shockwave is more annoying.
According to Michael Keaton, it's the Shocker.
Why does Michael Keaton get to be the decider of these things?
That
There's
was-
thousands of people out there who could decide these things. Maybe even some people who are more qualified than Michael Keaton.
Oh, by the way,
Like, Michael Bay has a say in this, and he says Shockwave.
so speaking of Michael Keaton
Uh-huh.
and mainly Batman.
Yeah.
So, did you hear what's happening with Batman?
No.
So, the newest Batman,
Uh-huh.
not Affleck, is
Yes.
actually getting a trilogy that's been confirmed.
Uh-huh.
That actor said he's done with Batman as soon as the trilogy ends.
What is with all these actors and being like, I don't want to play Batman? It's like,
I
who
know,
the fuck doesn't
I
want to play
know.
Batman?
That was my reaction too.
Adam West played Batman even on other shows for like years after he stopped being the Batman. Why the fuck is everyone else like, no, once I get my 3 movies in, I'm done. I'm out of here.
My coworker that I was talking to this about, he was like, yeah.
What are people asking of these Batman actors?
Yeah, I was like, maybe they'll get Michael Keaton. He's like, that would be nice, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be a multiverse of madness kind of things where they'll show him once and
Crisis
then never
on
again.
Infinite Batman.
Well, I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earths is Marvel.
Yeah, but like but you know what I mean. It's like,
you're talking like Flashpoint.
yeah. Well, no, I'm specifically talking about like we're gonna see like 8 different Batmen that all show up, and it's like, no, I don't want to be Batman. I'm leaving. You can't all leave. Get back in the room.
So far, Michael Keaton is the only one confirmed for that Flash film.
Yeah.
But
Well, that Flash film is, I would not.
destroyed.
I would place money on it not
Coming.
ever coming, because like you have to understand. I am what's the actor who plays Flash?
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I am convinced Ezra Miller wants Warner Brothers to cancel his contract, and so he is doing everything in his power to get that film canceled. Because he did like 3 different things from my understanding. And Warner Brothers was like, no, we're not canceling it. And then he did something else, and they're like, we'll consider having a meeting about maybe canceling it. Like, well, and I was talking with friends about it, and that they've talked about why they refuse to cancel that movie. It's because they have nothing. They so desperately want the
Something to work.
DCEU to work. And they've realized that there is no way to make the current DCEU work.
Yeah, 'cause
So they are
went from 1 to 100 way too quick.
Yeah, so they are dead set. We have to flashpoint it. We have to start over. But so they have to have Ezra Miller do the film because they need to reboot the franchise. So it's like, but he's doing everything in his power to make it so that no one will watch that movie.
So you think he's doing it on purpose?
I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but if he isn't doing it on if he is doing it on purpose, my God, is he doing an excellent job at fucking up that movie. Like I doubt he's actually doing it on purpose, but I really want him to because that would be such a better story.
Like, as soon as Flashpoint gets canceled, he's like, yeah, I did all that shit on purpose. I didn't want to be in that movie.
Everyone involved was an actor. No, that's not a thing. Please, no one sue us.
Oh,
this
man.
is a joke.
This is a joke. But still, though, like, yeah. Honestly, we need to get Kevin Feige to do DCEU as well.
Well, who was it that they actually were bringing in to do DC?
Couldn't
It
tell
wasn't
you.
Kevin Feige, but it was somebody.
Could not tell you. I thought they were getting the Russo brothers for something, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember. Let me look up DC new director.
Need more than a director, you need a fucking miracle. Just do what they did in the comics. We tried, we failed. Then you didn't do it right. What didn't we do it right? Building up the story. Yeah, because here's the thing. They even go from 1 to 100 with the next Suicide film. It's already several years later, and there's more characters. And they're still doing that with Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're introducing Dr. Fate, the Atom, Hawkman.
Yeah.
It's like, I get you want to introduce all these characters in this movie, but it's like, they didn't have a previous movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess they thought these characters weren't good enough to have their own solo film. So they're like, yeah, we'll just throw them in. And I think that's bullshit because Dr. Fate, oh boy. If they would have made something similar to what they did with the first Doctor Strange, they would have made bank with Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Fate and Black Adam is what's going to save the Black Adam movie. That's about it. I'm not sure about the Atom. I'm not too thrilled about the Atom's mask that he currently wears. I'm hopeful that's not the mask he wears.
Yeah.
Because I know I was shitting on the Suicide Squad earlier, but it actually wasn't that bad. It was alright.
And also, by the way, Crisis on Infinite Earths is a DC thing.
Okay.
That is usually one of the things that leads up to Flashpoint, is when the multiverse starts basically coming into each other. And so you get the Justice League meeting the Justice League and teaming up to fight the Justice League. And you get crazy shit like that. Oh, it might have been. Yeah, it wasn't Zack Snyder.
I know there's an incursion event within the 616 universe. I know that's how Miles Morales gets to our universe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was temporary though. I know in one instance he got stuck in 616.
Yeah.
But we'll just see
The
what
real
happens.
problem is that the main people they have
Yeah.
is James Gunn. And they can't really have James Gunn for very obvious reasons.
What did James Gunn do? honestly, they shouldn't have Zack Snyder either.
Well, at least Snyder would give a direction. No, the thing I was trying to say was that, like, it's not that he's done something. It's not that, like, he can't do the DCEU. It's that he's doing the MCU, given that he's, doing all the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. So
Yes.
they can't make him the lead of the DCEU. But yeah, that is the real problem. Is that
They don't want to restart. Well, it's like you either restart or you don't have an audience.
well, no, it's not that they don't want to restart. They desperately want to restart. That's the point of that's the whole thing for Flashpoint is they want to reboot it. The entire thing for Flashpoint is it's reincorporating the old Batman stuff into it. Like that's why Michael Keaton's involved because it's gonna have like old school Batman in it.
Yeah, but we don't know for how long.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's like they, as previously stated by Mr. B, it's hard to be Batman. They can't find a guy who wants to consistently be Batman. That's DC's problem in general. It's the reason Marvel worked was a few fundamental reasons. One, Disney. It's Disney. Like,
Well, it wasn't originally owned by Disney.
true, but Disney kind of put it over the top. But
Yes.
main reasons why: one, they got perfect actors for their roles, at least at the beginning. Pretty much every single
Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr.
there is no man who could play Iron Man better than Robert Downey Jr., a man who exudes drunk tech billionaire. And or Sherlock Holmes,
Yes.
who basically would be a drunk tech billionaire if he was born like 400 years later.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you could not pick a better actor for that role.
Yeah, and then they changed actors with Hulk, but they had to do that for...
Yeah, that was due
Certain
to legal
reasons.
reasons that they
Yeah.
had to do that. And who's the guy who's Bruce Banner? Now
He's the guy in...
I can't think of his name.
He's the guy
I
from...
know it off the top of my head. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah,
yes.
Mark Ruffalo, great Hulk. Like, greatly enjoyed him. Captain America, great actor.
Yeah, and they had to change Rhodey's face, but
Yeah.
they changed Rhodey's face because the original Rhodey wanted more money, and they couldn't
Yeah,
provide him that.
No, I think it's bullshit. I think they could have provided it, just didn't want to. Like, it's Disney. They have the money.
Again, that was so before Disney.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if that was before Disney,
Yes,
actually.
It was. That was Iron Man 2 when they changed his face.
Let me see. When did Disney
They bought
get
Marvel in around 2013, 2014. I think.
I'll just look up the MCU directly.
Excuse me. Yeah, because it went Iron Man,
Yeah, that's
Hulk,
actually not gonna help. Here we go.
Thor.
Let's just go Marvel Studios. That will be helpful.
Yeah, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man 2. Then Avengers.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't have a Black Widow or a Hawkeye movie before the Avengers, so even they, like, went ahead a little bit like the DCU does, but they add a few too many extra characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that, and they don't do it well.
Yep.
MCU does it fine. DCU doesn't.
Yeah.
By the way, how long are we going?
Nope.
For? What?
Disney bought them before Iron Man 2.
Really?
Yeah. They bought Marvel in 2009.
2009. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a really interesting movie coming out. I mean, it's Deadpool 3.
Yep.
From what we know, Deadpool 3, it's not on any of the phase banners, but it's supposed to be the movie that brings Deadpool in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't know how that's going to work. So the earliest we'll see that movie is in 2014. Because they haven't even started shooting it yet.
Yeah.
I know Ryan Reynolds works on that script day and night.
Apparently, the Disney is saying that they are not planning to make, or they licensed Stan Lee's likeness, but they have stated that they are not planning to do a digitally recreated Stan Lee. But it's
I wouldn't expect so.
yeah, but they did license it for the old movies to be like, hey, we want to further use his likeness in relation to those movies. But yeah, they are currently not planning to put a digital Stan Lee, even though they have an animated Stan Lee, like from that other movie.
From Big Hero 6.
Yeah. Apparently, and this is an interesting note. So Kevin Feige is actually in a very weird situation when it comes to studio, because you would assume that like Kevin Feige would be like the creative director under Marvel, and then Marvel reports to Disney. So like there's Feige, and then it'd be somebody who's like a top executive of Marvel, and then that executive would report to Disney. That's not how that works. Apparently, Disney said, no, we are going to directly work with you. So Kevin Feige reports directly to Disney. He is over the Marvel's studio's executive.
Fuck.
Like, because they realize that it is such an important franchise for them that they're like, no, you are not going through another executive. You deal with us directly.
That's impressive, right?
Like, yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure he is housed directly in Disney's.
Yeah, just do what they did in the comics, and no director would listen to them. Now they do.
Yeah.
I wonder if Kevin Feige was a DC fan.
I don't know. Yeah, Feige is the chief creative officer for Marvel.
Damn. swore Shiny Frostmoth was gold, but no.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just need to find their Kevin Feige for DC.
Mhm.
Disney buys DC. Just so Kevin Feige can work on DC. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading up on Marvel stuff right now. Anyways, getting back to the thing I was talking about a while ago. So the big thing with DC is DC does not have an equivalent to Kevin Feige. They do not have a person who has an absolute vision of what the franchise is going to be and acts on it. They treat each movie as its own movie. But they also want a cinematic universe. And it's like, but you can't have a cinematic universe without, one,
Understanding the material.
without having, one, a creative director whose sole job is to plan the franchise. And two, you can't do a cinematic universe without taking time. The reason that Marvel worked is not, or the reason that the MCU worked isn't just because they have Kevin Feige. It's because they have a lot of competent directors, a lot of competent actors, and they took the time to build up those individual actors over the span of years before they got to Avengers.
I mean, the DC universe has decent actors. Like, they have Ben Affleck. They have...
But the problem is that they have decent actors, but they keep also having problematic actors. Disney has not, as of yet, had any actors that are really problematic. They haven't had a...
None of these actors want to stop their acting career as soon as they get into Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't even think Michael Keaton does.
Yeah. But, like, they don't have a Ezra Miller. There is no one at DC who has, like, Ezra Miller's reputation or Amber Heard's reputation. Like,
yeah,
that's just not a thing Disney's had to deal with. And that could be because they better pick their actors or whatever.
Disney had Ezra Miller. He was in their Star Wars universe.
No, but I'm saying specifically in the MCU. In the MCU, they have not really had an actor that was like, oh, they did something really fucked up and we now have to cut them from the whole franchise. They've been pretty good at getting an actor that's worked within the entire thing. Again, we can ignore Hulk because that, one, wasn't Disney, and two, the reason they had to cut him was not for that actor reasons. Like, it wasn't a problem with the actor.
Yeah.
And the closest thing they've had otherwise is actors complaining that they're not getting paid very well because it's Disney and they don't pay their actors well, and actors that actively got fucked over by their contracts.
Yeah, like Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. So, but they don't have problematic actors in that the actor goes out and does something problematic that means they have to be fired. The closest thing was James Gunn, and they fired him, only for the entire cast to say, we'll quit if you don't unfire him.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really anything Disney could do. You can't have every single Guardian of the Galaxy be replaced. Like, you just fundamentally can't do that.
Yeah, like, didn't they say James Gunn kind of changed or something?
Yeah, that was their statement, was that the man who made these movies does not embody the messages that you fired him over. And we will stand behind him.
Damn.
And as far as I can tell, yeah, they were correct. Because, I mean, he's making Guardians 3. So. But yeah, that is the closest thing that Disney's really had to something like an Ezra Miller or a Amber Heard situation or any of their other problems. They just haven't had the same level of difficulty.
Yeah. I don't know what the problem was with Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck just said, I want to
I think Ben Affleck just didn't want to be Batman anymore. I don't, as far as I'm aware, he wasn't fired for a reason. Like, I think he just wanted out. Like, the other, and it could also have just been that people weren't happy with the, because, like, I know people were very unhappy with,
the Batman v Superman.
Well, yeah, and to an extent Man of Steel, because of that specific Superman. So it's like, I can see people being upset about that. So that might have also
here's
tinged things.
Here's the thing about that Superman. I don't hate that Superman. Like, I think he plays Superman very well.
Yes.
What I hated was they killed him off way fucking too early.
Yeah.
Cause
well,
and how they did Doomsday was stupid.
Yeah.
So do you know the lore of Doomsday?
I've seen videos about it, but it's
the death
go
battle.
over. Yeah, but go over it.
Okay. So, the lore about Doomsday is, the thing that the movie got right was he's an alien.
Yeah.
But that's about the only thing that got the thing right in the movie. Anyway, he's an alien, and he was created by a scientist on a different world to test the levels of survivability on that planet.
Yeah. And
so, he created multiple creatures, and these creatures were clones of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, one of these clones could actually survive that planet.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing that the creator didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
Since that was the same creature every time they sent it out, that the Doomsday.
Yeah.
Every time he sent out the copy of Doomsday, he retained his memories from when he previously died.
Oh, that's problematic.
So he kills the creator, steals his spaceship, and lands on Earth eventually.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, isn't also part of the lore that's like, he survives on that planet, but the reason he can survive on that planet is because he's basically immortal. He's effectively unkillable.
Yes, the scientists accidentally found a way to make this creature unkillable.
Yeah, like
because this creature can die, but he cannot die in the same way twice.
Yeah, it's like he will always come back. And attempting to kill him is problematic.
Yeah, so now his story building up and his story being said, this is years after Superman's already on Earth. Like, several years.
Yeah.
And when Doomsday finds his way to Earth, he kills Superman.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many other people helped in that battle, but I know for a fact...
In normal comics.
Yeah, in normal comics, Superman dies. He does come back. That's another thing the movie got right.
Yes.
What they didn't get right is how he came back. I don't exactly remember in the comics how he comes back, but it definitely wasn't the way they did in the movie. Yeah.
Well, and this is where I'll get, to get off topic a little bit, this is where I'll get back into the thing where I'm like, this is why I don't, well, it's not that I don't read the comics because I don't want spoilers on the movies or something like that. It's nothing to do with that. I mostly just don't read the comics because I don't have the money to buy comics. But I refuse to allow the books to cloud my viewing of a movie. Because I can sit back and say, oh, well, it's problematic that the color of Annabeth's hair in the Percy Jackson series, that's not accurate to the books.
I didn't even care about that.
Nobody fucking cares. Who cares that she's a blonde or a brunette or fucking green hair?
If the actor playing her was good, fuck it.
That's my same policy for comic book movies. Comic books are an adaptation. They're like, to sit here and say like it's inaccurate to the comics is an oxymoron, because there are thousands of Doomsdays with thousands of different interpretations. So, and same with Superman. So
I'm
it's
just
like,
saying,
so it's like,
the Doomsday that we got in the movie
yes.
was created by Lex Luthor, which has never been
yeah,
a thing.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like, I have no problem with them taking a character and saying, we're going to do something different with them. Because that's what comics are about. A comic book inherently is saying, I've got these characters, and I'm going to make a new story with these same characters. You thought you've heard Spider-Man, but what about Spider-Man Noir? This character that's in 1930s Manhattan and is a detective. Completely different Spider-Man than any other Spider-Man, has no connections to him, and that's perfectly fine.
Here's the thing, there is a detective Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. But that's why I'm like, so I can't sit here and say, well, it's a problem for Lex Luthor to have made Doomsday because.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, if
they wanted to have Lex Luthor make Doomsday, they needed to do it well, and they did not do it well.
Yes, that's the problem. That's what I'm getting at. It doesn't matter to me that Iron Man made Ultron. What matters to me is that Ultron is played well, and that Iron Man building him does not make no sense to the story. Same with Doomsday. It doesn't matter to me if Lex Luthor made Doomsday to kill Superman. That makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to me that Luthor would make a creature to kill Superman because that's his motivation. I hate Superman. I will do literally everything in my power to kill him.
I think what pissed a lot of people off, including me,
yeah,
this is probably what got me to hate it.
Yeah.
It's how Doomsday was created.
Yeah.
Do you know how Doomsday was created in that
Not
movie?
seen that movie.
Good. Because
I have seen almost none of the DCEU.
You'd probably hate it too.
Yeah.
Because this is what they do.
Okay.
So, you know that Zod died in the first movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. They used Zod's body to create Doomsday.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. I'm like, no, that has never, ever been a thing.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to make this a unique idea, it's definitely unique, but it's shit.
Yeah. And I'm not going to sit back and say that, like, I don't have problems with that. Because as much as I just said all that about like, reimagining characters and doing new cool things with them, there is a limit. For example, when they announced the live-action Teen Titans characters, and they had the one character, wasn't it Starfire?
It was Starfire.
Where it was just completely a different character than Starfire.
I talked about that show with my coworker. He says the show's fine, but I agree Starfire sucks.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's that I think it's fine to do cool and unique things with characters. They still have to be the same character. You can create new backstories for them and new, like, you can give them occasionally different powers and stuff, but, like, they still fundamentally need to be the character. There's a point where if you've changed the character too much, it's a different person now. Like, and you should just make it a different person.
I also didn't like the design for Doomsday. He looked, I mean, Doomsday is supposed to look ugly, but he's also supposed to look cool. Like, he had a very freaking badass looking design.
Yeah. But yeah, from the sounds of it, what they could have done is they could have just came up with a new character. There's gotta be a character in the comics that's Zod brought back to life or something. There's gotta be something they could pull from.
Here's the thing.
And if not, they could just make a new one.
Here's the thing. Zod wasn't even supposed to die yet.
Yeah.
Like, Superman not killing, like, okay, Zod is Superman's first kill. That is true. But that doesn't happen until, like, when he's a professional superhero on Earth.
Yes.
Like, he's been there for a while.
Yeah. And this Superman, I'll say it this way. This Superman feels much more okay with killing people when needed.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that feel. I agree.
Yeah, that's...
Because I think it's because of killing Zod. I think that's why he acts like that.
Because, yeah, you have to remember, guys. Like, people joke all the time about Batman. And being like, oh, well, Batman says he doesn't kill, but he drops people from, like, 3-story buildings and breaks their fucking back, and that's not killing them. Like, haha, they're not actually dead. They're just permanently crippled. or something like that. Like,
I mean, he's fine with that.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, people joke that it's like, yeah, you're not killing them, but you're basically doing everything else but killing them. Like, can you really say you're that clean if you do everything but kill the person?
What's funny about it is they actually had a joke about that in one of the video games.
Yeah.
And in Injustice 2, Robin commented on Batman saying, okay, so you're not fine with killing, but you're fine with dramatic brain trauma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, like, some people joke about that. But that's within the character of Batman. He doesn't like killing because of the murder of his parents. But he is absolutely fine with being judge, jury, and punisher. He won't execute you, but he will punish you for the crime.
He's basically the Punisher.
Sort of. But point is, like, he is fine being in that role. He just isn't fine with killing people. But he will do everything else. And that's fine. He is not... There's a reason why he's called the Dark Knight and not the White Knight. He is not pure. He is meant to be a dark and brooding and deeply troubled character. Superman is not. Superman, in pretty much every single interpretation of him, is almost always a very straight-laced character.
Yeah, the guy who can never do any wrongs.
Yeah, like, this man is an icon to all, like, truth, justice, and the American way. And he does not kill. He will break other rules before killing. He will work with Luthor.
That's why the build-up to Zod in the comic books was such a what the fuck moment.
Because
like,
it's a dramatic point where you see how a character got up to the point where he finally says, I have to break the only rule I have.
Yeah, and in the movies we don't get that. We get that first movie.
Exactly. It's again the problem of they do it too fast. These movies do not have the dramatic build-up to get to a point of Zod because we don't know who the fucking character is yet. And the character we do have doesn't seem that... Like, he's not that pure truth, justice, and the American way. He's not Captain America, I will do no evil. Like, this Superman will kill. So what dramatic timing is there for Zod?
I think
there's nothing there. He's just another guy that Superman's like, I'll kill him then.
I think that's why a lot of these movies are themed very dark, and that's why they have all these dark colors. Because they're going for a darker DCU.
Yes, and here's the thing. I understand why they do that. The reason they do that is because you've got to think about it think about it like the MCU. Their mindset is, well, the X-Men is the coolest thing we have. Spider-Man is the coolest thing we have. So we're going to make the franchise fit those characters. Marvel doesn't do that. But that's how DC does it. Marvel's way of doing things is they have all these different characters with differing ideals and personalities that have to work together, but they don't always agree with each other. But the way DC is doing it is they're saying, well, we have Batman. Batman's a dark and brooding character. Therefore, we should make our franchise dark and brooding, and all the characters should fit in that franchise.
And it's just like, you can do that, but just do that with the Batman characters only.
Yeah, but that's the point. Superman isn't meant to be a dark and brooding character in general. No. The reason he is not is because he is a foil to Batman. He's a different...
He's the opposite of Batman.
He is meant to be like, I am the pure snowflake that can do no wrong. And Batman's meant to be the dark anti-hero that does the right thing, but for the wrong... Or, like, does the wrong thing for the right reasons.
Here's the thing. This DCEU could actually lead up to Injustice since...
Yeah, that's what they're going for. Is they're going for a more Injustice-style universe. And again, that's fine if they do it well.
Yeah, Injustice
but the problem is they're not doing it well. Again, like, you can break any of the rules I'm saying are absolute, and that's fine. But you have to do it well. You have to start from a character that's good, that people like and want to see succeed, to then break a rule and it be a serious moment.
Yeah, speaking of Superman killing when he killed the Joker in Injustice, that is the second time he's ever killed anybody, and he did it out of hate.
Yeah.
This time it wasn't. This was the only way, because that was the situation with Zod, because it was the only way to save someone. I don't remember exactly how, but his reason was justified, or when he first killed Zod. When he killed Joker, he gutted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Injustice storyline.
Yeah.
I don't know if the comics came before the games.
Yeah.
But
pretty much all the games are based on a comic.
But oh boy, the games are excellent.
Because to put this into a different perspective, guys, what is one of the most iconic Marvel scenes ever?
Iconic ever?
Yeah.
For which character?
All of them.
All of them?
Just like one of the most iconic moments, just period, in all the comics ever.
Probably all of them teaming up to fight Thanos. That's probably one of the biggest ones.
That's a pretty good one. There's a few others I could probably think of, but the one I'm going with, one of the ones that a lot of people can think of, if you know any Marvel moment, you probably have heard of the death of Mary Jane scene. That scene where Spider-Man fails.
That wasn't Mary Jane.
Well, yeah. Sorry, not Mary Jane. The other one.
That was Gracie.
Yeah, I keep forgetting her name.
I
keep thinking MJ, but it's not actually MJ. It's
something Gracie.
I can't.
I'm looking it up.
Since you keep going, I'll look it up.
Yeah, I forget now. Great.
Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy. Sorry.
Yeah, the night Gwen Stacy died.
Yeah, that's probably another one. Ben's death is also.
Yeah. So again, those are all very.
But that's Spider-Man specifically.
Yeah.
But you were asking about Marvel overall. Infinity Wars.
I am talking the most, like, one of the most iconic scenes that you could put in medium of the Spider-Man reaching out and she's falling and crack. Not there in time.
Another pretty big scene is actually Iron Man's first forging of his armor.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. But specifically talking about the Gwen Stacy scene, there's a reason why Marvel has not done it yet. It's because they just straight don't think they can do it. They don't think they can do it justice. It is a scene of such...
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man tried it.
Yeah, and it did not work out well. Like, it was fine, but it was only fine. Like, it's a scene that you have to have put in the time to build up to that moment happening. So if in this, and I think that if the MCU did it, they would do it for MJ. Like, it would just be, they would just make MJ be that instead of Gwen Stacy. Yeah. And they've joked about it, but they have not done it.
I don't think they should do it.
I don't think they will either. And I don't think they can. Because it is such an iconic moment. And even, we're going to have 4 movies with this Spider-Man. They've already announced a 4th one. They're gonna, like, even with that amount of buildup, there isn't enough. It's just not possible. And this is Marvel. This is the studio that has done a lot of there's no way that could be done moments.
Yeah.
But I don't believe they could do it. And that's what DC's doing with their Doomsday moment. They're doing that moment way too early on a character that we've not even built up for Doomsday.
Guess when Superman died in the DCEU?
Well, hold on. In the movies?
In the movies, when did Superman first die?
Isn't it like either the end of his first movie or the beginning of Batman v Superman? It's like
End of Batman v Superman.
Okay, end of Batman v Superman. Okay, I was like, yeah, it's in the first 2 movies. It's like not
First
soon.
2 fucking movies.
Like
Again,
you need like 4 or 5 movies before you get there,
yeah,
man.
Superman killing Zod. That's an iconic moment.
Yep.
Too early. First movie. Superman dying. Second movie. Way too early.
And again, it's a problem of tone. The DCEU couldn't. The DCEU can't even do that same. Like, I know they have, but like, if a competent creative director was making these movies, he would never put the death of Zod scene in this franchise.
At least not yet.
No, ever. The reason why is because, or sorry, I should say the Doomsday scene. He would never put the Doomsday scene in the movie. The reason why is because the Superman they're building in this franchise does not fit with that moment. That moment is meant to be a turn, a shocking moment that Superman would break the one rule he has. This Superman doesn't give a shit. This Superman is a darker Superman. He's an injustice Superman. That's meaningless to him. So any attempt to put the Zod moment to film in an Injustice-style Superman movie is going to do nothing. Because you've already built the character to not care about it. So it's just going to be a one-off, like a thing that just happens. And everyone will just be like, well, that was fucking anticlimactic. And the whole point of that scene is to be climactic. It fundamentally fails to be usable. So it's like, even having the Doomsday scene in those movies was a failure. Because the whole point is that it's supposed to mean something. And this franchise is designed in a way where it can't mean something. Like, sorry guys, I know that I don't, like, I've said I don't really care much about the DCU, which is actually not, like, it's not even fair. Like, I do like the DC franchise. I know it much better than I do the Marvel franchise. Because I grew up with DC on TV.
Yeah, the Injustice.
No.
Justice League.
Yeah, like,
show.
I didn't watch it regularly, but I watched it enough when I was a kid that I knew a lot of characters. Like, I knew Green Arrow. I did not know Hawkeye. So it's like, I grew up with DC. And Marvel was not a thing I knew existed. So I do give a shit about this franchise. I do want it to succeed. And some of the movies are really good. Like, the Aquaman movie was absolutely excellent. And that movie is not like any other Aquaman. Like, the Aquaman from the Justice League is not comparable to the Aquaman from the DCEU. And that's one of the situations where it was like, but it works. And the reason it works is because they did a good job at it. It's a different interpretation that works because they made it work. You can't just sit back and say, we're changing this character and not put everything you've got into it. If you're gonna make such a drastic change, you have to go 120%. And they did with Aquaman. That movie worked. That character works. And I can believe that Aquaman is not a running joke in the DCEU and is actually a badass character.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there are some really good movies. Like, I liked the first Suicide Squad movie.
Yep.
I liked the Aquaman movie. I liked parts of the Justice League movie.
Yeah. Shazam movie was excellent.
Excellent.
Like, he was a very jokey character, and it fit with the fact that this is a kid who transforms into the equivalent of Superman. Like, this kid is jokey, and it works for him. So even within their universe, where the characters are supposed to be much more serious, it worked well for him because of who he was. He can be an outlier. But, like, a lot of their other movies just haven't worked. So it's like, I hope that Black Adam goes well. But the problem is, it doesn't matter if it goes well. Like, Black Adam may usher in a new era for DC, but the problem is... Hello, Croc.
Hey, Croc. I think the Black Adam movie is going to be at least decent.
Yes, I think it'll be good, but here's the problem. It doesn't matter.
It's going to be reset.
Well,
No. I don't think they're gonna reset it. I think that they'll keep Shazam.
Well,
I think they'll
probably keep the
Aquaman, they'll
actors.
keep- But I think that they're even gonna keep those movies.
Oh.
Like, I don't think they're gonna destroy out those movies because there's nothing in them that needs other movies to really exist. They were standalone movies. Black Adam's is gonna be a standalone movie. It's gonna have no real references to anything. The only reference we have is Shazam, where they had the one scene at the end with Superman, and we didn't even see him. Like, we only
didn't even
hear
see his
him.
face. Like,
Yeah. So.
well, okay, there was an extended version that added his face.
Yeah, but like, again, you could just cut that one scene out, and none of those movies have any connections to the DCEU. And that's what I'm saying. The problem is that their main cast is fucked. The characters that work well is, we have Shazam, we have, I'm gonna just preemptively say Black Adam. He might not work out, but we'll just say he will. And we have Aquaman. Aquaman's the biggest person they have. And then I guess Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman also works well.
At least with the first movie, it did.
Yes. The second movie I've not heard much about, but like,
It's fucked up.
yeah. So we'll ignore her. But that's the biggest actor we have. Aquaman is the biggest actor we have. I guess Shazam is sometimes big. The weird thing is it depends on the Justice League. Because, like, a lot of these characters, like, there isn't really a static Justice League roster. So
Well,
you can
but the
have anyone
top-
you want.
The top characters in the Justice League are usually Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman,
Sometimes.
and Martian Manhunter.
Yep. And Shazam sometimes. And that's the point. That it depends on which version of the Justice League. Superman, Batman are almost always there. I don't think there's ever been a Justice League that I can think of that's not had both of them.
I'd say the same with Wonder Woman. But
Yeah, Wonder Woman probably as well. She is pretty much always there. Also, Hawkgirl is often there.
Hawk Girl or Hawkman.
Yeah, usually Hawkgirl, though, because Hawkgirl... They usually use Hawkgirl and Wonder Woman to be, like, remote
Yes.
relationships with Flash and Batman. So they usually use them whenever they're needed. So... And yeah, Flash. So, let's see who our cast is. We have a Superman people don't like, a Batman that quit. And
Again.
Yeah, again. We have... Oh, it's cool, Croc. We will absolutely do that.
I already said happy birthday to
yeah,
her. Sorry, I forgot to mention it.
Yeah. We have a Flash that sucks and or is being fired.
Here's the thing. Ezra Miller's Flash was very, very expressive, and I loved his
Yeah,
expressions.
but Ezra Miller is Ezra Miller, and so he might be getting fired. So the actor is good in his role, but problematic. Wonder Woman, who was good for the first movie and unclear on the second one.
Well, the second movie, the director got, like, she could do anything she wanted.
Yeah, she got a
And-
blank check, and they realized maybe they shouldn't have given her a blank check.
Exactly.
Exactly. So the character seems good, but the movie was kind of...
Directed badly.
Yeah. So, the main characters that people think of in the Justice League are fucked up, except for, again, the one person we have is Aquaman.
Oh,
How is Aquaman the only not joke?
we also forgot to mention Green Lantern in the Justice League main
Oh, yeah,
roster.
and Green Lantern, who isn't even in the DCEU.
He was going to be in the Justice League movie, like they hinted at him.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying, sorry, to be clear what I say, because they have not made a Green Lantern movie yet.
No, not for the DCEU.
Yes, because the Green Lantern movie was pre-DCEU and was fucked up. Like that.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds admitted, like, yeah, not my best.
Ryan
work.
Reynolds in Deadpool killed himself
Writing of the script.
for even thinking of acting in that movie. Like, it is such a bad joke. So, yeah, that's the problem, is that our main cast of characters is currently limited to Aquaman, Shazam, and Black Adam if he's good. And the rest of the cast has issues. Maybe you could get Wonder Woman in. And outside of that, we have no one. I don't know Cyborg well enough to know if he was good in that movie.
The guy playing him wasn't too bad.
So, yeah.
Like, here's the thing about Cyborg. Cyborg wasn't even supposed to be in the Justice League until he was deemed worthy enough, in a sense.
Yeah. So that is our Justice League right now. We have Cyborg,
Way too early.
Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman, and Black Adam. And every other character is just like, well, please go away.
And I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the problem, is they don't have anyone. Like, Marvel had this exact same problem. People don't think about it, but the main people you think of in Marvel were not big. Iron Man was not that big of a character. Like, Captain America, not that big of a character. But Marvel made them big characters. Marvel said, we have been dealt a bad hand. All of our cool characters aren't in our wheelhouse. So we're going to take the ones we have, and we are going to make them the new faces of the franchise.
And again, what's really funny about that is the Avengers.
Yeah.
The main cast
Mhm.
in the comics is usually Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hank Pym as Giant Man,
Yep.
and Wasp. Those
Yeah.
are the 8.
Yes. But
But they scratched 2 of them.
yes. And also, the other thing is, though, it's not that they aren't normally the Avengers, but it's the fact that they're not the high-grossing characters. They're not the characters everyone thinks of. When you think Marvel 20 years ago, you think X-Men, Fantastic Four. You don't think Iron Man.
Probably Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Spider-Man. Those are your 3 big franchises. They had none of them. 0. They had none of those characters. And they took the ones they had and said, we'll make them the faces of our franchise. We'll make the Avengers the most important thing. And it worked. So, DC can do that. They can take these actors that most of which are not the big names from their franchise, and make them the most important characters of all time. But the problem is, they have to go that direction. They have to set everything else aside. Say, those aren't canon anymore. These are what's canon. We're going to build off this, and then make something out of it. And that's going to take 10 plus years.
Yeah, and they don't want to do that.
They don't want that. Because they want Superman and Batman, because those are their cool the characters that they own. They're the biggest characters and everyone loves them. But no one loves these actors, except for Batman, who doesn't love himself. Which is pretty on par with Batman. So.
Well, another actor I love, the guy who does Alfred. Oh,
Yeah.
Man, he is so fucking great as Alfred. Do I know you?
Yeah.
He's just so smug about being Alfred. I'm like, this is the Alfred I love.
Thank you, Croc. On it.
So, I want to say there are a few actors that are good in their role and I think deserve to still be the...
Yeah, I'm not saying they should throw out every single actor. They should reuse the actors if they can. But they have to understand that they're in a fucked up place. And that's why they're so desperate for Flashpoint. They understand that Ezra Miller is not a person that they really want to deal with anymore. But what do you do when your only choice is to do a reboot, and the character that will allow you to do a reboot is problematic? Like,
Oh, should I write her a note that says, would you like to be Batman's buddy? Check yes or no.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. Like, because that's the problem. People think, like, Iron Man technically was not, like, Robert Downey Jr. isn't Iron Man anymore. He retired. He died in the movies.
People think they could bring him back if they do an incursion event. We could see different versions of Iron Man.
Yeah, but as of now, he is retired. He's not Iron Man anymore. But he went out on his own terms, or, well, at least Disney didn't renew the contract, but, like, again, in the character. He went out on his own terms after having, like, 10 to 12 different appearances, all of which was good. Again, you can disagree if Iron Man 3 was that good, but, like...
They made Iron Man 3 a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
Because what they did in Shang-Chi was they had the guy say, oh yeah, I'm the actual Mandarin. Some guy at Ames took my stage name, man.
Yeah, it's... they made it work. I love the fact that they brought that guy back. That it wasn't... They said, no, we're not going to hide this. We're not going to give up on the fact that, yeah, we get that we made the Mandarin a joke. And now we're going to make the Mandarin not a joke.
Yeah. And I'm like...
And we're even going to bring the joke back. We're going to be like, no, here's the fake Mandarin. He was a fake the whole time. Like,
yeah, and I fucking love that.
Yeah, it's like, if you're going to make that error, fucking own it. Good job, Marvel.
Yeah, so Marvel can correct their fucking mistakes and do it funny.
And again, like, I will say, I'm not as big into the Marvel comics, or, again, any comics. I did not have a problem with the Mandarin being a joke. Because I have no experience with the character, I had no problems with that actor in that movie at all. He played his role well. He was a joke, and that was the point. He was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah, and
I get why people were upset.
Yeah.
And I think their way of reconciling the fact that we want to make a serious Mandarin and also have this joke still be canon was excellent.
I still kind of don't like how they did the rings. A lot of my comic book knowledge in quotes comes from Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of my comic book knowledge comes from, because they briefly go over moments from the comics.
Yeah, but, again, that's the point where I get to, where it's like, can we change the subject? Give me a second, Croc. We might change. We'll think about it. But yeah, that's where I'm talking about. Like, the problem with that being your experience is that, well, the games pull from certain comics and not other comics.
Well,
there's probably like 50 different Mandarin.
Well, here's the thing. The thing about the Mandarin in that game and in the comics was that was the Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
There was no other kind of Mandarin there was until the MCU.
Yeah, and the MCU took it in a different way. And
they made it at least better by Shang-Chi, but I was still disappointed with it.
Yeah. It's fine. Like, again, I think it's... That's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with them making new interpretations of characters. But I understand people who want to see the interpretation they like saying, well, this wasn't what I wanted. I understand that. Like... But it's in the same way. Like, you don't see people getting pissed off that injustice exists. If that makes sense.
No.
Like, people don't generally get mad that, like, oh, but the Injustice comics exist, and Superman kills in those comics. He's not supposed to do that. Like, I'm angry that these comics exist. Because people are like, well, that's a different interpretation.
And it's a different Earth.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a different Earth. So it's like...
not.
Well... But that's the thing. It is in the MCU. Earth 616 is different than the other Earths that Shang-Chi is from and the Mandarin's from and Iron Man's from in the comics. So it's like, that's the point. But because it's a film, people get upset about it. Because it's like,
because they aren't viewing it as this is a different comic book in a different world. They're viewing it as this is the movie version of all the comic books. And that's not what the MCU is doing. They're saying, we're making our own world, and we'll pull some stuff from comics, but we're going to do it our own way. We're not going to say we're tied to this lore. So, like,
I think the Mandarin was one of their biggest fuck-ups in the MCU.
And I can see that. And I think I think their correction for it was good. It still might not have been what people wanted, but looking at it from an absolute point of view, ignoring everything else, their reconciling of the two characters worked very well. I was invested in the real Mandarin, and was also invested in the joke Mandarin who they brought back and was still funny.
Yeah, Trevor.
So, thank you, Trevor. I'm sorry that so many people hate you.
I didn't hate him. I hated the guy that could regrow his limbs or whatever.
Well, yeah, that was... Yeah. I think they just shouldn't have made... I think the way they should have done it in that movie, which would have pissed a lot less people off, is if they made the Mandarin be a joke, and the other guy was just a different villain. Like, the Mandarin was a fake villain.
I thought he was going to be MODOK.
Yeah, like, I think if they had made it so that the Mandarin was just a joke that guy made up to distract people from himself, but he was a different, real villain, no one would have hated it. It would have just been like, oh yeah, it's just a fake.
Like, I thought for sure that
But then, him being like, no, I'm the real Mandarin. It's like, what the fuck are you on about?
Yeah, like...
It's just weird.
Because MODOK is the head of Ames, so I was like, oh, that's who's going to turn into MODOK. Like, as soon as they said Ames, I'm like, yes. And then they don't do that. I'm like,
well, then they also brought MODOK in. So it's like... Because didn't they do that in...
No, they haven't done...
Not officially in the MCU, but didn't they have the spinoff for him?
That wasn't MCU.
What do you mean that's not MCU?
It's not.
But it's Marvel.
It's Marvel, but it's not part of the MCU. It's just a show that they had for him. I hear it's good, but it's...
Okay, whatever. I'm done trying to figure this shit out. If it was made by Disney, it's MCU. I don't care if they say it isn't.
It's a claymation...
Yeah, it's like, I've stopped caring. Because, like, Disney can just change the what's real and what isn't real whenever they suit.
The only cartoon right now that is canon to the MCU is What If.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, and he was not in the What If.
Nope, I've seen all the What If. He was not there. Nope.
Which people really liked that, by the way, from what I hear.
What If?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear people were very happy with that.
It was Multiverse of Madness before Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry we get into heated debates about Marvel and MCU. Marvel and DC. I do like talking about this stuff. Yeah, what I really want to know is if any of the Defender Netflix stuff is going to be canon to the MCU. They're reusing those actors, so maybe.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading up some information on SAG-AFTRA, which is the main actor guild. Apparently, I didn't realize this. Apparently, so if you're an actor, up until recently, if you were on a show, say you were on a Netflix TV series,
Netflix can effectively tell you that you're not allowed to take other jobs while on that role.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, apparently, SAG-AFTRA just got like they're curtailing they've basically started making agreements or making deals with people to get rid of that.
Oh, good.
I'm trying to see who with. Because it just says that they made this deal, but with who? Oh, just with themselves, I guess.
They make deals with themselves. How long are we going for today?
We'll go up to 2 hours, and we'll see if we go longer than that.
Okay. Are we at an hour yet?
Yes.
Probably running in.
Well, that's the thing because of So, guys, by the way,
yeah.
you might have noticed that there might be different ads running right now that we're not announcing. That's because we signed up for Netflix's like improved advertisement.
Not Netflix.
Or not Netflix.
Twitch.
What did I say? Twitch. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm
Netflix.
tired. I'm reading a thing that's talking about Netflix, and so I'm thinking about Netflix. We signed up for Twitch's like increased advertisement thing that they're creating, which I won't give any information on in case I'm not supposed to do that. But basically, it means that we get paid a little bit more for ads that are run on the channel, but we have to have automatic ads. So we have ads set up in a way that they appear on the channel now automatically. So we no longer have to worry about running ads.
Yay. Yeah.
Apologies if this upsets people.
Yeah, and also I'm so used to you saying we are.
Yeah, I know.
running
It's like
an-
it's been an hour, and I'm not saying that we're running an ad because there's already been an ad run.
like that to me. That tells me
That it's been an
how-
hour.
That's been an hour.
Younger bro's like the clock hasn't gone off.
Oh man.
Oh, okay, got it. It's with the Motion Picture Association.
I don't know what that is, correct?
The Pokemon.
Oh, the
pig.
Right, the pig. I mean, it's all right.
Come on,
don't-
I haven't even been looking at the trailers except for the first like bits of one, and I knew who that was.
I'm tired too. I went to bed early and got up early, so, and I'm gonna be doing that again tonight. And I also had to go into work early. So anyway, Ighawk, it's an okay Pokemon. I don't like idolize it or whatever. I will catch it when I am able.
I'm tired, so I just said, yeah, I'll agree.
Like, besides the starter cat, I haven't. God damn it. I have not seen any Pokemon that I'm just like googly eyes over besides the starter.
Yeah.
I mean, there was another cute Pokemon too. It was kind of like a cute little, like, fuzzy dog Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was pretty cute. I think they also had a dragon type too that I can't remember the name of. But it didn't look too bad either.
Okay, sorry. I hate these fucking article titles that are very confusing as to what they mean. The article I was seeing was called "Streamers Get Steamy as They Lust After Sex-Drenched Fare to Seduce Subscribers." I was like, okay, streamers. So they mean Twitch. No, by streamers they mean Netflix, Hulu, like companies that do streaming. And it's like, oh, okay, you mean something completely different that has nothing to do with me. Don't call it that. Like, streamers are people,
That
not
stream on YouTube
companies.
or Twitch or anything like that.
Yeah, you don't call Netflix a streamer.
It's a stream platform, though.
Yeah, it's a streaming platform. So, like, yeah, if they said Netflix, Hulu, and others releasing sex-based TV shows, it's like, oh, okay, that's weird, but that makes sense. Sex sells.
Here's the thing.
But they're like,
Netflix had, like, the reason I know about this is because I tried looking up anime on Netflix.
Yeah.
They had hentai on there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, guys, if you subscribe to Right Stuff, I think it's Right Stuff. Let me confirm.
Yeah,
you should be very pissed off. Give me a second. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you use Right Stuff Anime, I believe it's called Right Stuff Anime, but like it's Right Stuff, which does manga. Be very pissed off because Crunchyroll just bought them. And here's the thing with Right Stuff. Right Stuff is very well known in the manga community. I believe it's manga. Again, I'm not aware of this. I'm just kind of relaying third-party information. But I'm pretty sure that it's manga. I'm just going to confirm this before I do anything else.
Oh, wow, that was quick. Actually.
Okay, it is anime and manga. Okay. Basically, Right Stuff is, does, anime and manga. And how's the best way to word this? Okay. You know how anime exists.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how sometimes anime comes out that is a bit too spicy for a lot of different platforms. There's different mangas and shows that are created that Crunchyroll won't touch because it's a bit too
flashy.
No, spicy is the best word. Flashy is fine. Like, you can flash all you want, you just can't touch. Some anime touches. And so services like Crunchyroll won't provide that. Right Stuff is one of the few services that provided that. They recognized that people out there want to see all walks of anime, including stuff where you can touch. Well, Crunchyroll just bought them and immediately removed all that content from Right Stuff. So, if you're looking for any officially licensed...
that stuff.
Yeah. Crunchyroll just deleted it. So, I apologize for being the bearer of bad news.
Like, I'm sure there's some good anime out there that does that, but
Oh, yeah, it's like, here's the thing. I'm certain it exists. It's just that Right Stuff was an official platform. It's not like going out there and just typing porn or something, where you can find thousands of sites that exist, but, like, there are, like, non-anime related. Like, if you do that, there are a few major sites that come up that everyone probably knows about. That's the thing with Right Stuff. They were, like, a legit company. They're not, like, a tiny, like, xxx.hentai.com That, like, you have no idea if it's a legitimate site or not.
Yeah.
And please don't type that in. I have no idea if that's a real site. I'm just coming up with it off the top of my head. But, like, Right Stuff was a real company. They actually, like, licensed a lot of anime and manga. They just also were like, and here's our back room. It's right this way. Well, Crunchyroll was like, we don't like back rooms, and we're buying you, so fuck you. I honestly don't know how they managed that. Like, if I was Right Stuff Anime and was being bought out, I'm pretty sure I'd put in as, like, one of my conditions that it's like, if you're buying us, that's fine, but you cannot remove our 18-plus content, and you must continue to invest in and provide 18-plus content.
I don't know how they didn't get their say in that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how the hell did Right Stuff get bought and that not be part of the deal? Of, like, that's fine, but then you have to keep that content here.
Maybe they secretly wanted to be not that.
I doubt it, because they capitalized on that. They were the only ones that did it. Because, like, all the other services are like, no, sorry, 18 plus, that's too unprofessional for us. Too hot under the collar.
Too unprofessional, like.
Look, you have to remember, Funimation canceled their interspecies reviewer dub because it was too spicy. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Crunchyroll wasn't happy with that content, but, like, how did they not go, well, like, Crunchyroll was a fucking piracy site. You're telling me they never pirated hentai ever?
That's
not one show.
The closest thing we got is Monster Musume.
Like, I just can't believe that. So, like, it boggles my mind that Crunchyroll couldn't have been like, well, we won't. All they would have had to do is keep it under wraps. Like, they didn't have to make it a huge deal of it. They could just, like, quietly put, like, Crunchyroll LLC on Right Stuff. But keep the content. So it's like, I just don't understand a world in which this happened, where I'm like, but how did... Look, there's money to be made here. You're leaving it on the table. Like, and now everyone's leaving it on the table. Except apparently Netflix. Apparently they're fine with it.
No, Netflix has always been fine with it.
Yeah. And to be fair, by hentai, you don't mean that one show that I can't, that's like Nekopara or something. The one that's not actually hentai, but really looks like hentai. I'm sure. I think that's Nekopara. I don't remember.
It's not that show.
Because there's that one show that both of us know that we're like, oh yeah, that one. That's definitely porn, isn't it? No, it isn't? Okay.
Yeah, it has a pink-haired girl as the lead. I can't
That's
remember.
That's not helpful. But yeah, like, I'm just saying, it's like, it's anime. That's like 90% of anime. But it might be Nekopara. Let me check.
No, it's not. It's not that. What was it?
Is it actually adult?
Anyway, the lead character I'm thinking of, she had pink hair and she had like 4, maybe 6 dots on her forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is that character?
Okay, we definitely should not play Nekopara.
Nope, can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. Guys, I have bad news. I may have just realized that, what was the terrible, massage game we played?
Senran Kagura?
Yeah. Reflexology?
Yes.
Apparently that's a subgenre, because Nekopara is that.
Huh?
Nekopara is a visual novel that allows you to pet the girls.
So it does what?
So it does that, apparently.
That.
So apparently that's not the only one of those games. Why?
What? I thought it was the first one.
Apparently not.
I'm surprised they got it on Nintendo exclusively. Well, at least they
I
did for a
can't
while.
believe it got on Nintendo at all.
They wanted to try more adult things. So
I'm
there you
scared
go.
because Wikipedia has plot, and I'm like, not sure if this means something else.
Reflections sort of had a plot.
No, I can't think of what the series is, but whatever series that is that's on Netflix. There is a series that looks like porn but isn't. But that's not the one you're talking about. There is actual real porn on there.
Yes.
Yeah. Which does not surprise me in any way. Also, sorry, Croc. Sorry for making your brain hurt. Just don't listen to what we're saying right now. Well, I mean, you can listen now. Just don't listen to the stuff we said for the last 5 minutes.
I think the anime I'm thinking of with the pink hair girl, I don't think it is actually porn, but it does show nudity.
Yeah.
A lot.
And it's not To Love Ru, right?
No. I would have remembered if it was To Love Ru.
Yeah, because like that's also pink girl, like pink-haired girl on cover.
But the
it's
one
not
I'm
To Love
thinking
Ru.
of, she has like dots on her forehead. Like I don't want to say Buddhist dots on her forehead.
I'll just type in ecchi anime and just look up images. This is a bad mistake, I know, but it also doesn't help that I have safe search off for this search. Surprisingly, it's actually pretty safe. So I have to admit, good job.
But yeah, To Love Ru, I've watched To Love Ru. There are some messed up scenes, but
yeah,
it's still not porn.
No. Oh, thank you, Anime Planet. This will be helpful. I put Konosuba as ecchi. That's just that is just inappropriate.
It's an insult.
Like, okay, to be fair, it actually might not be correct because I'm also seeing things on here that's like Food Wars, and like that's definitely not an ecchi. I'm just gonna ignore what they say.
Can the world be fixed?
I mean, Croc, it depends on what you mean by fixed. If you mean fixed as in literally like a dog, no.
I think he's asking, could
No,
it be,
I know what he means, but that's not
yeah,
the point.
Could it be better?
Like, look, I will say this. If there is one truth to the universe, horny is a main emotion of the human race. I still can't believe My Dress Up Darling is an anime. I can't believe that got an anime.
What?
I still can't believe that My Dress Up Darling got an anime.
My dress up. What?
Yeah, one of the dress-up games, like one of the big dress-up games, has an anime. And I'm like, I can't believe that happened.
Was it Nikki? Nikki was big enough. I know she got a crossover with Miku.
No, it's literally My Dress Up Darling. It's the name of a game.
I've never played that one.
Yeah, it's just one of the games. Like,
that's...
Or I think it is.
That's
if it isn't literally one of those games, it's so similar to one of those games that I've just assumed it is because it looks so similar.
Like, the biggest dress-up game I know about that is anime is Dressing Nikki.
I'm pretty sure there's one that has My Dress Up in its name. But I can't think of it.
I think the one I'm thinking of is, I think it's called... My Anime Dressing and it has Slash and Nikki. I have to look it up.
So I'm literally looking at all these shows to try to find the one. And all the ones with pink hair girls that are the main character are To Love Ru. I've seen 4 different To Love Ru pictures. And I'm like, it's not To Love Ru!
Okay, they've definitely changed the name. So the current name for the Nikki game I'm thinking of is Love Nikki Dress Up Queen. Excellent.
Yeah, most of them are putting dress up in their name. In some way.
That's pretty funny.
Sure, it isn't True Love Ru. Like,
Yeah, I am 100% certain it is not To Love Ru.
They're almost the only ones with pink-haired characters in the cover at all.
It was not To Love Ru.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of that anime on Netflix.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Like
trusting you.
I watched.
It's not Luis the Zero either.
Like, I watched the entire first episode of that one show on Netflix. And I also watched most of To Love Ru. It is not To Love Ru.
I'm scared about a show that's an ecchi that the title is Listen to Me, Girls, I'm Your Father. Like, that just scares me on a level that I am not comfortable with.
No.
Like,
no.
No.
Unsubscribe.
Now, okay, when you say the main girl is a pink-haired girl on the cover, are you saying, like, she is, like, the prominent, like...
She is the...
It's one of those where, like, she's at the center...
She's on the cover. I know the show is about... There's a main guy and a main girl, and the main girl is the pink-haired girl, and she is on the cover of the official art.
Yeah. Now, is this...
I don't think
Are there other characters? Is it just her?
I think it was just her.
Okay. That narrows it down. 'Cause I was just assuming this is one of those shows with, like, a lot of characters on it.
I mean, I think it had more than just 2 characters, but I just...
It's not
the official
her
art, I think it was just her.
Yeah, the art that would be on Netflix.
Yes.
Okay. Which I assume would be a normal official art. I still want to see all 10 seasons of Conan. Yeah, like... Case Closed seems interesting. There's no way this is a real show. One of the shows on this list is called Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. I'm just like, I don't believe you. That you can. There's no way you just put a harem in the title of the show. I don't believe you. Refused. Nope, not looking at that show either. How is that? You're really trying to make me think this is porn. It's not, still not Luis the Zero.
No.
It's not Aramanga Sensei, despite other evidence.
I thought it started with a B.
It's not Bakemonogatari. I don't know, I can't find it. Sorry.
Did you look up Netflix anime? I wonder
You
if
can't. If you don't have you can't see Netflix's library unless you are a subscriber to Netflix, and I don't have Netflix on my phone.
Father has it.
Yes, but I don't want to go log into Netflix right now to find the show. So, I cannot look it up while on stream.
Did you look up pink-haired girl with dots on her forehead?
That would not be helpful. I can look up pink-haired girl.
If it helps, she had pigtails.
It still sounds like Luis the Zero.
It's not. She didn't have pigtails.
That's
she had
true.
long hair.
That's true.
Yeah, sometimes it helps to just look up the character and eventually you'll find the name of the show.
Well, yeah, that's true, but
But you have to find the right character.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard for me to do that when I don't know the character.
And before you say it, no, it's not Elfin Lead either.
And it's not 02.
No.
I think you'd know 02. Long pigtails?
Sort of long, yeah.
And it's not the quintessential quintuplets either.
Nope, there were no characters that were twins.
Okay, why does typing in pink-haired girl ecchi anime cover get me porn when typing just ecchi anime characters doesn't? Like, come on now. This is just disgusting. This is hardly helping my search at all. Okay, I'm pretty sure this one is a doujinshi. What the heck is this one again? Like, I can't even read it because it's not in English. But like this one, I'm 100% certain is actually a porn.
Looks
Like
one.
but I can't confirm because I can't read what it is.
Character looks cute though.
Yeah, I'm sure she looks nice and fuckable. That's not the point here. Now I'm still seeing 02. Okay, now that's just actually porn. That's unhelpful. Yeah, I gotta look up something else. I'm going way too deep down into the search terms, and it's just showing the actual porn. So, I'm gonna need something better. I think it's impossible for me to find this based on the information. Just, you're gonna have to look it up on Netflix later.
That's if it's still on Netflix.
I'm sure it is. Netflix is not very well known for cutting shows for being too sexual.
I'm not sure about sexual, but I thought they dropped a lot of their shows.
Yeah. That's more HBO Max. At least right now. I'm gonna have to scrub that from my search history now.
Yeah, I swear I've searched this character before, and I did successfully found her one time.
Oh yeah, almost certainly.
Because I think when I searched for her, she was like within like the top 100 photos I searched.
Yeah, the problem is searching things just like pink-haired girl or pink-haired girl ecchi or like it's so the search results change all the time. Also, I'm not looking on Google. I'm looking on DuckDuckGo, which also doesn't help. So
Maybe try Google.
yeah, because just what I want is have Google showing me porn instead of DuckDuckGo showing me porn. Like, you said ponytails. Or pigtails or ponytails?
Pigtails.
Okay. Let's start with that.
Okay.
It's not Modka Magica.
Sorry, when I mean pigtails, they're not swirled.
Yeah, you mean straight pigtails, not
Yes.
twisted
Straight
pigtails.
pigtails, not
Yeah.
twisted. See ya, Croc.
Okay, Croc, have a good evening. Sorry about the conversation topics. Nothing that I can find. So, you're just gonna have to look it up later. I'm sorry, but it is beyond my power to do this.
Of course, I get Fire Emblem as one of the first ones.
Yup. That'll do it. It's not Fire Emblem either.
No. Fire Emblem didn't have an anime. Like, as soon as I see her. I mean, there's a lot of good art for these characters.
Well, a lot of characters are also just completely unique.
Sorry if I seem slower, guys. I have to literally play this game with one hand.
Did I write down case closed?
Okay.
Yeah, I should write down case closed.
There it is. Girls Bravo.
Oh, yeah.
That was the girl.
Yeah, doesn't show up for me.
And guess what I typed?
Yeah.
Exactly what I told you.
Yep.
Pink hair girl with dots on her forehead.
Yep.
First 5 images.
No clue. By dots, do you mean freckles?
No, they're like, they're weird. So she has 3 dots on her forehead. I think it means she's an alien or something. Like, it's not religious from my understanding. It's just that's how her species looks. I think I don't exactly remember. I think depending on how many dots you have on your head is like how skilled you are.
Oh, you do literally mean dots. Holy shit. That's so weird. Okay. Well, this suck.
Yeah, I was serious. Like
Let me look for my history and remove that.
Like the only things I can connect those dots to is something. I'm not trying to be racist here, guys.
You're thinking of like a Hindu.
Hindu, yeah.
No, that makes sense. I get what you meant.
But that's not the case at all. I think that's literally the part of her skin or something.
Okay, yeah, that show definitely was some kind of hentai because the search term on my history lists it as succubus, and it's like, yep, okay, that's definitely.
Yeah, that's probably why
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but I just didn't. When I first watched it, I just didn't feel comfortable watching it.
Yeah. That's why there was a video. I'm sure there's a series of this where, but there was somebody who did a video on shows that you can watch with your family. So it has to be an anime that you would be comfortable watching with your family. And there were some that are like
Jokes.
well, no, there are some that are like, okay, I'm comfortable watching it, but there's that, yeah, if my mother was in the room, I'd just be like, this isn't inappropriate, I just don't feel comfortable with this.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball, I would watch with anybody. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
one
would
of
you
those
watch?
show.
Yeah, but would you watch? Shoot, what is it?
Monster Musume?
Well, yeah, it's like you wouldn't watch Monster Musume with anybody.
No,
with your-
because
with your
because
family.
that would make them think, "Oh, what are you into, boy?"
Yeah. Same thing with the
Chilaru.
no
I mean, it is one of them.
the show we watched recently.
Kill la Kill.
No,
Wait,
we
didn't.
haven't watched that one.
I mean, we tried.
Yeah, but no, the one with Dog Girl.
We haven't watched that.
Yeah, the one we watched with Jin. The one that I didn't want to like because it literally looked like it was gonna be bad.
Satan Academy.
Thank you. Satan Academy. Like, yeah, like I don't know if like that's one that's like
maybe not.
Sorry, there's another dog girl anime I know about that is really good.
But like, yeah, that could even be a show that somebody might be like, I'm not comfortable watching this. It's not inappropriate. It's just weird.
Yeah, so I wouldn't describe Satan Academy as necessarily a dog girl anime, but it's pretty close.
But it's like it. But the entire show is you have animal species where the girls are girls, but the men are the actual animals. It's like, how can you not call that a dog girl? I mean, she's technically a wolf, but like, it's not the point. Like,
yeah, here's the thing: the anime there's another anime I'm thinking of that has a dog girl in quotes. She's not actually a dog girl; she just acts like a dog. Because literally, probably one of the most iconic scenes was her sitting on the floor. She has like a hair that sticks out, and it wags back and forth like a dog's tail.
Yep.
It's
speaking. Oh, before I
it's really good.
Speaking of Satan Academy for a moment, I still loved the bit where the main character just is outright like,
he hates animals.
No. The moment I like with the hyena where he's just outright, no, you're a girl. It's like, how can you possibly know that? Because of your face. All these girls look like girls, and the men look like the animal, and you're clearly
you stand out.
You clearly aren't an animal. So you obviously must be the girl.
Here's the other thing I really liked.
I don't know if that was meant to be a fourth wall break, but like it really worked.
The other funny thing about the hyena girl, there were other hyenas that were actually girls and identified as girls that were loving on it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's that in their species there is that's the best way to. I'm gonna try to think the most scientific way of working it. I believe hyenas. I was gonna say I believe hyenas have sexual acts for dominance.
Oh.
So I believe that the female leader of the hyenas will do that to males and females of the tribe as a power move.
God damn.
So that might actually be accurate to their species. Which is, again, that show should not have been as accurate as it was. Like there were times where it was very inaccurate, and they've said as much, but like
they made it work.
But I think the hyenas, were pretty spot on with their representation. Like
even females have one.
Yeah, it's like that's pretty. Yeah, that's how that works. It's like
and the president naked mole rat.
I mean, that was just way more literal than it. That's just taking the joke literally, very, very literally.
You're taking off your clothes in front of a student right now. How do you plead?
For my species, naked is fully dressed.
Yeah, and everyone else defines it as naked.
Yes. Now imagine if I took off my clothes in front of you. Would the principal be fine with that? No? Then deal with it.
Oh, so great.
And as normal, as is tradition, when that scene happened where she undressed in front of him, all the girls came in, kicked the shit out of them, and was like, "Oh, I guess it wasn't inappropriate." And it's like, "Yup," as is tradition for anime when that happens, but also it made sense in context.
But yeah. Older bro was not expecting that.
No, I was expecting that show to be shit.
Good.
I was expecting that show to be at the same quality as Magical Senpai. And it was not. And I am disappointed in the fact that it was as good as it was.
Older bro was wrong.
It's not even about it being wrong. It's just that I took one look at it and was like, no, there is no possible way this can be that good. And it was like, oh, it's one of those shows where it's way better than it should be. It's like this show should have been absolute trash, and it isn't trash. Like I should like this for it being bad.
Like, I'm excited.
But I don't. I like it for it being good, and it's that just does not work. That doesn't make sense.
Like, they clearly... Like...
Yeah, the developers of that show cared, and it's like... And it just doesn't... It's like, wow.
And they also clearly set up a season 2.
Yeah.
But we've yet to get that. I don't even know if the manga for season 2 is concluded
Again,
yet.
it would not surprise me if if it doesn't get a season 2, because people like me assume that show just isn't worth watching because it just looks so generic and or bad that people are just like, no, that can't possibly be good.
I really hope our review on that show
Well, the problem
changes that.
is that with our reviews, people have to watch the series to get to the review. So, alternatively, guys, we do actually review the shows on a service. So,
have we been doing that for the last couple ones we've done? Like
I actually review them before I put up the review for them before the show finishes.
Oh.
So, like, I have the review. I don't think I have a text review, as in I don't think I've actually put up, like, comments on the show for Beaufry yet. But I have put up, like, our final rating privately. So, like, I don't unprivate it till after the episode goes live.
Yes.
But, yeah, we do have, I believe it's on AniList. I think it's AniList. We have an account that has all of our a short synopsis of our opinions of the videos, or of the anime, and our review score. I'm not certain you guys can view that. It is unclear based on their description whether or not it's possible for people to view that yet. I know if I released a proper review, you could view it. But to do that, I'd have to write, an actual paper.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have to write, 2,500 words, and it's like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Like, maybe I should.
I would do it for Stan Academy.
It's insane to me that show was not bad.
Yeah,
Look,
guys, I bought the show after we reviewed it.
Yep. Again, guys, I've said, there are shows that I recognize are not 10 out of 10 shows that I would recommend you watch. I acknowledge that Trinity 7 is not a 10 out of 10 show. That it is a trashy show. But I still recommend it. Hello, Anna! Happy birthday, and welcome to the stream.
Happy birthday to Anna. Did you have a good birthday? Did you get everything you wanted? Oh, speaking of things that are wanted. So, the people at GameStop finally got back to me about my package for GTA on PS5.
Yeah.
So they apologized to me.
Yeah.
And they fused the last 2-3 messages I sent them into one claim.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, look into it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Probably 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
They say, okay, so we found out what happened. Apparently your package was lost in shipping.
Yep.
So you're telling me it was stolen, okay.
Yeah.
So, like I thought.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're going to send you a new one.
Yeah.
Here's what concerns me.
Yeah.
I don't know if they recharged me.
No. If something is lost in the mail, the company eats the cost. Because it's like, you did not get the product that was promised.
Yeah.
So, legally, you could issue a chargeback against them and say, well, you didn't give me the thing, it didn't arrive, and you could say, yeah, I'm going to recharge from my bank, and say, yeah.
If it happens again, I will do that.
Yeah, but...
Like, I'll give them one chance every time I get something in shipping.
The package was stolen. It may not even have been stolen, specifically. It might be a situation where...
It got to one place and then never left
Yeah,
there.
it's one of those situations where it might have gotten to the USPS facility, for example, and just literally gotten lost within the building. So it could be inside, a post office warehouse somewhere, completely lost because like it didn't have a proper name on it, or the shipping label wasn't there, or whatever.
Oh, what's the other game? God damn it.
Cult of the Lamb.
Is that what you're guessing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't she say something about the Call of the Lamb?
No, it was me.
No, I swear she said something in one
I
of
don't
my
know.
previous streams.
I've been busy thinking about our internet connection issues, and haven't paid attention.
Yeah.
Actually, when was the last stream that Anna was on? Because it's been a while, hasn't it?
About a week.
Yeah. Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Call of the Lamb is $25, not $50. Okay, then get Call of the Lamb and Digimon Cyber Sleuth. You've got 2 games for the price of 1.
But it will be cents over what I have.
Look, she's not going to get the $50 game for $50 either. It's $49.99 plus tax, which is way more than a penny. Clearly, the tax is not the problem here. But no, for $25, I would absolutely recommend Call to the Lamb. It is absolutely worth that.
I haven't decided.
Also, I was annoyed though. So Call to the Lamb on their main screen, they have like new game and stuff and settings, and one of them the options is roadmap, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I wanted it yet because it's like.
Yeah. But so you click on the roadmap box, and it literally just says more content will be released at a future date, and it's like that's not a fucking roadmap.
Plus, here's the thing about Call of the Lamb. I can't even say I haven't played anything that's demonistic, because I play Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And I think Cult of the Lamb is maybe a lighter version of it, but I don't know.
The thing is that for a lot of games, like, it's not really. The entire point of it is if you have interest in playing like Dark Souls, it's on the same level. Like, because Dark Souls literally has you going after, like, actively killing, like, a fell god in one of the games, basically. So it's like, it's the entire thing of Cult of the Lamb is literally just you're going out and going into, like,
labyrinths.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon style map, or a roguelike map, something like that, to kill 4 to 5 bosses, basically. And the only thing about it that has anything to do with like occultism is the fact that the reason you're doing it is because a fell god asked you to and prevented you from dying until you do it, basically. It's basically about as occult as Hades is. So, like, if you have no problem with, like, trying to kill your father, a Greek god, and getting out of the underworld, there's about no difference.
Okay. Yeah, because I also play God of War, and that's all about killing gods.
Exactly. It's like, this is one of the things that a lot of very conservative Christians, the people who do a lot of but cute. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's Binding of Isaac but cute. And without the actual, well, I guess it has a plot. Binding of Isaac sort of has a plot, but it's like, yeah, it's Hades but cute, I guess. Like, I don't know. People like Hades. Like, there's people who probably think Hades is cute, but this is very much explicitly cute. I don't know. Anyways, the thing I'm saying is that, like,
a lot of people who do pearl, like Christians who do a lot of pearl clutching are like, oh no, what they either don't understand or purposely leave out is the thing about a cult is not, there isn't a problem with a cult as an aesthetic. There's a within Christianity, there's a problem with a cult as a belief. The idea, like, there isn't a problem with a game summoning demons. It's the problem of you aren't supposed to be summoning demons. You're not supposed to go out and believe that, oh, this Ouija board can summon spirits and I can talk to them. Like, but there's absolutely no issue with Christianity and playing a video game that has demons in it. And even games that are explicitly about summoning demons. Because you, the video game player, are perfectly well aware, and so is everyone else, that playing Dark Souls is not going to actually summon Satan. So, like, yeah.
I guess maybe the title of the game is what's getting me.
Yeah.
Like, I get, because when I think of cult, I think of bad things and mainly the KKK and.
I mean, but they're not. I mean, I guess that counts as a cult. They're not really a cult. That's a different. There's a reason why it's called a clan. It's a different thing.
But it's.
Yes.
Technically the same.
Yes. Like, but that's not the point. That's what I'm talking about, though. There is a difference between joining a cult and having a game focused its story around a cult. Like,
yes.
Because Resident Evil, isn't it like 8 or 9?
We are at 8 right now.
Yeah, isn't Village literally about a cult?
No.
I'm 99% certain that literally is a cult.
Okay, it's sort of. It does have religious factors. Like, they worship I want to almost call her a dictator. They worship a dictator there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that counts as cult.
I don't know. I just was pretty certain that game specifically refers to it as a cult. I can't remember.
I played through most of that game. I don't remember any lines that refer to it as a cult.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, there were followers of a character named Mother Mary.
Yeah.
And for some reason, she started turning on her followers. But anyways. So.
I don't know. Not the point.
I'm just saying, like, there is a dictator that they do worship in the game, but I don't think they ever call themselves a cult.
Gotcha. But yeah, it's like the other thing about it is that, like, the other thing about it is that the main factor I look at when looking at video games like that, is that I always point out the fact that people have constantly made this complaint since the dawn of time, or since the dawn of video games. People have said that Pokémon is sinful because, like, for any number of reasons, not including that they literally have Arceus, which is a god. But it's like, people are going to complain about the games no matter what the content is. But yeah,
yes.
in my situation, it's in my opinions on occultism in video games is that if the point of the game is not to make you believe that those things are real and that you should worship them. And the entire point of the game is just, here's an aesthetic that we're basing our game around, and that's it. Then I see no problem with that. In the same way that I don't think that having a game set around nuclear war is a problem because nuclear war could happen in real life. Like, I don't think
Call of Duty does that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And people make that exact same claim about Call of Duty, of like, oh, well, these violent video games are making our kids more violent. They're get more likely to go to have school shootings because they shoot people in a video game. And it's like, that's not how that works. It's the same thing here. Playing Cult of the Lamb is not going to make you join a cult. It's not going to make you believe that occultism is a thing that you should go out and do. You're going to do what everyone else does and sit at the computer and be like, oh, this is a fun game. Cool. And that's it. Like, that's...
Yeah, I don't understand what causes people to want to do guns in school. Like, the only thing I can think of is, like, mental health issues.
Yeah, sometimes it's mental health. Sometimes it's a delusion. It's situations where somebody has something happen to them, and the only outcome they can think of is to resolve it themselves.
Like, yeah, like delusion. When I think of delusions, I think of like people who think are playing GTA in real life.
Yeah, it's like, I understand people who make those complaints, who say violent video games cause violence, because here's this example of a crazy person who literally did do that. But it's like people who... the example I'll give is, people constantly worry about shark attacks. People are afraid that that if they go into the ocean, they're going to get attacked by a shark. Shark attacks are extremely rare. You're more likely to get hit by a car than have a shark attack. And nobody is fearful of getting hit by a car so much that they don't drive. Or there are people that do that, but they are extremely rare. But being afraid of sharks is extremely common.
Here's the funny thing about that. There is actually one place on Earth where shark attacks are very common.
Yes.
And I think that's the beaches where the Great Barrier Reef is.
Yeah, but again, that's not... It can be one spot, but it's nowhere near here.
No.
So it's like, if you live in the United States or in Europe and you're afraid of a shark attack, there is not a reason to be. Unless you have actual open wounds that are actively bleeding out and there are sharks nearby, you are in zero danger.
Yeah, I think the Great Barrier Reef is near Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Australia is known for having extremely weird animals anyways. So it's not even abnormal for them to have an abnormal amount of shark attacks.
Now, I think people finally figured out what it is around there.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of turtles.
Yeah.
So when people go surfing...
Yeah.
When they're paddling out to a wave...
Yes,
it's mistaken identity for a turtle.
Yes, and that is the thing that people have said for a long time. It's like, it's a situation of, if sharks are starving and they see motion that makes them believe that you are an animal, they will occasionally attack you. But it's very uncommon. It's the same thing with flying. There are a lot of people who are afraid of flying, younger bro included. You are way more likely to be hit by a car than you are to die on a plane. Flying is way safer.
Yeah,
but it is very common to be afraid of flying.
And here's the funny thing about that. Speaking of flying and airplane and being afraid of it.
Yep.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Was recently in a plane crash.
Yeah.
And he survived.
Yep.
I don't know the details on it. I just know he posted a video saying he did was in a plane crash.
Yeah.
So that definitely does not help my case with...
No, I get it.
Like, guys, if
It's like I understand people being afraid of flying in a plane. I'm not very comfortable with that either. Like, I'll do it, but I'm not comfortable with it.
Like, I just feel like I could survive better if I was on a boat traveling than...
Yeah, it is absolutely the case. It's like that's one of the reasons I don't believe we'll ever have flying cars. Like, it's a cool thing that people love to think about.
We do have flying cars, though.
Not exactly.
Not that kind of flying
we
cars.
we have small
Plane
planes
cars.
that can drive on a road. But it's not really a flying car. And that's the point. What people think of when they think of flying cars is they think of the
hover.
Jetsons.
Yeah.
They think of, like, here's a car that goes straight up and then hovers off the ground.
It's
like
an omnidirectional car.
Yeah, that will never happen. Never.
Like, we would need alien technology at that point.
Yes. Not only would we need alien technology, but there are several major factors that would prevent such a thing from ever happening. One is the cost. The amount of fuel you would need for that would be exponentially higher than a normal car. The amount of safety training you would have to do to drive that car would be exponentially higher. So if you have problems with your license now, imagine getting a flying car license. You would pretty much have to have self-flying cars. They're self-driving cars to even have a flying car.
Like, if I think of the future, we're gonna have it's probably gonna be a mix of both, where we have flying cars, and road cars.
But here's the main reason why I don't think we'll ever have flying cars. Because if there is any problem in a flying car, you die. If you get into a crash in a normal car, you probably don't die. If you get into a crash in a flying car, you die. There is no way you're surviving.
Like, you would have to be one of the luckiest people on there.
Yeah, because you will hit the ground, your car will be totaled, and you will die. There is no airbag that can survive you. Ejector seats are not common and don't really exist.
It would have to be a specialized airbag to slow
You would
the
basically
motion.
need an ejector seat, and that's not really a thing.
Like, I'm sure there would be, like, a design where you would have, like, airbags under the car that could catch the car as it's falling.
Yeah.
Or, like, a parachute for the car or something like that.
Yeah. And that's the reason, that's why plane travel is so safe. It's because cars get into accidents all the time. There are car accidents in our state alone. There's probably thousands every day. Plane accidents, there's a few a year.
It's because different airliners travel at different heights, I believe.
Yeah, there are pretty much never collisions. And the only times that there are really accidents are when there is a technical malfunction. And even those are very rare. But when an accident happens, everyone dies. Like, it is very difficult for a commercial airliner to safely land in an event of a crash. It happens, and people do survive those. But the expectation is, if there's a problem, you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, look at Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. So, there's a higher perceived danger, because it's like, well, when there's a problem, you're dead. In a car situation, if there's a problem, you most likely don't die.
I mean, you can still die in a car crash.
Yeah, but not often. It's much rarer to die in a car crash.
Like, you'd probably get heavily hospitalized.
Yeah, hospitalized.
But,
yeah.
So, where are we looking in terms of team?
Oh, we're at 221 right now because we've been talking for a while.
Oh.
So, yeah, we'll probably call it a 230.
Okay.
But the one thing though, that's why I don't think that flying cars will ever happen. It's because they're the worst of both worlds at that point. They're super fuel inefficient, like a plane, and they're as deadly as a plane. And the only thing that you've really done is gotten off the road. So it's like,
yeah, I see your point.
Just I don't see it feasible.
I think teleporters are more feasible, and that's equally infeasible.
We will never get real life Portal.
Yeah.
I thought for sure we were gonna have a Portal
Well, that's the interesting
movie.
thing. That's the interesting thing. Portals aren't really teleporters.
They
Because, like,
they can send you to one location to another of your choosing.
yes, but... So, okay, here's the thing. When most people think of portals, what they think of is, like, a teleporter pod. Where you walk into the pod, and you instantly you are instantly disintegrated, and then are reassembled in another location. Portals don't do that, though. The way portals work is that they literally open a wormhole between one location and another.
Yeah,
So, like,
a real wormhole, and you would die as soon as you enter it.
No, that's the thing. You wouldn't. With wormholes, you don't die. All that happens is you walk from one place to the other, but nothing happens to you.
But I'm
It's
saying
space that's distorted.
I'm saying a real wormhole. Like, there are wormholes out in space. Those exist.
Yes, but wormholes don't disintegrate. You're thinking of a black hole. Wormholes are literally just a door that leads to the wrong location. Like, the way portals work is if I could put a door here that exited out there.
I could have swore that if one of us entered a wormhole,
No.
it would literally, like, smash us because of the gravitational force.
That's why wormholes aren't viable. But the way people think wormholes work, like the idealized wormhole, is just literally like a door. You'd open a door, you'd walk out, and you'd appear in a different location that the door shouldn't connect to. But in theory, you'd go straight through it. It's similar to, like, hyperspace. In theory, the way hyperspace would work is you just go into it, and then you exit it, and you're done. Like, it's just a different form of space. So, but you are correct that based on all physics knowledge of how a wormhole would work, you would basically just hit a brick wall and either die or not move, because a wormhole just fundamentally would not properly work.
Like, the way Doctor Who does it would probably be the safest way to do it, because when the Doctor's traveling, he's doing it in a circular pattern.
Well, no, the Doctor works in a completely different manner entirely. The way the Doctor works is that the Doctor is in a different dimension, basically. Like, his ship is effectively a parallel universe that he can enter, and, well, anyone can enter, but the door moves of. Like, the TARDIS is effectively a separate dimension that can just shift. So it's basically he enters a car, and then the car can go wherever the hell it wants, and then he gets out of it. But the car doesn't really exist in our universe.
Yeah, well,
It's weird.
That dimension is also, like, that's not a wormhole. I think it's called
It's the space-time vortex. It's basically like a wormhole.
It's
weird.
It's an oculus cylinder or something like that.
Yeah, it's effectively like a wormhole for space-time. But it's also its own separate dimension almost. It's weird. But it's the same kind of concept. So yeah, anyways, to get back on strange topics for a moment. No, you are not. It is not anti-Christian to play a video game that has demons in it, or a game where you play as a cult leader. It is anti-Christian to join a cult. So,
I want to say video games are just role play.
yes, exactly. Like, that is my policy on it. It's that you are playing a character. It's
that doesn't mean it reflects who you
Yeah.
are.
Like, for example, it's like here would be the most egregious game that could ever be made, and it would piss a lot of people off. It would be, you could make a game where you play as Satan, and the point is to corrupt and destroy as many people as possible.
That sounds like a Ghost Rider game.
Probably. You could make that game, and that still would not be anti-Christian, even though the literal, actual point of it would be very heretical. Because again, it's like, if the point is if you are playing a character, and the character has stated goals, they are sinful, you are not. You are not sinning because someone else commits a sin.
I mean, I commit sins all the time by playing shooting games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You are not committing a sin by playing a shooting game and shooting a person. Like, that's not how that works. At best, you're committing a sin by wasting your time. Like,
yeah, I can't
like,
tell you how many hours I've spent in GTA just having fun.
Yeah. But no, that is not how that works. There is not a biblical concept for that. The best equivalent, I would say, that would probably have existed in ancient times would be, you are not committing a sin by being an actor performing as a character who committed a sin. It is not sinful for you to be Brutus in Julius Caesar and murdering Julius Caesar. Like, that
was a good movie.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's not a sin. It is not a sin for you to be Cleopatra and seducing men in a movie. Like, that's not a sin either.
I want to watch Julius Caesar now.
So yeah. The idea that playing a video game that has non-Christian undertones is a problem is an idea that needs to go away. It is... I get people are uncomfortable with it, and it's fine if you're uncomfortable with it, but it is not a sin to do so.
The only reason I'm uncomfortable with it is not because I wouldn't enjoy playing the game, it's just I'm afraid of certain family members seeing that I'm playing this, and...
Yeah, I get that. It's like, my opinion has always been, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. I don't care if you don't agree with it. And it isn't your business if I do so.
Yeah, it's kind of something similar with MLP over there.
Yep. I enjoyed the show. I have figures and such from the show at my house. If you do not like that, that's your business. Keep that opinion to yourself.
Oh, what's that one song? I know it's called Keep Your Hands to Yourself.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's a Toby Keith song.
I don't know. Anyways, we are basically at time.
Alright, last egg.
Gotcha. Perfect
Keep
timing.
your hands to yourself.
Sorry, guys, that these conversations went in very weird directions today.
But at least we had conversations.
But we did have conversations, so I hope that you enjoyed it on some level. And if not, we'll probably be talking about something completely different next time.
Dun 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 dun. Wham.
Yeah, next week will be the last week of our rush in theory. So
yay. Okay, guys, so we are now at 260 encounters, and that is going to be it for today's episode. So like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch. Comment to our videos, we do read them. Follow on Twitch. We didn't notice any stream issues today. And we'll see you guys in the next shiny hunt. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone. And there was not stream issues today.